You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
Okay, we'll start with this. Katie Taylor has been granted an extension for the Chantel Cameron mandated title fight via the WBC. Katie Taylor was granted another 3 weeks to either work out terms with Chantel Cameron or stall out her longtime rival, depending on the perspective. The negotiation period for the World Boxing Council ordered trilogy clash was extended through September 18th upon request from the team surrounding Ireland's Taylor, the two-division and reigning undisputed 140-pound champion. As previously reported by Boxing Scene, the two sides had been instructed to reach a deal by August 28th to avoid a purse bid hearing for their mandated title fight. However, WBC officials agreed to further push out its deadline to accommodate Taylor despite the public disappointment expressed by England's Cameron, 21-1 with 8 knockouts. Chantel last week took to her social media and posted a caption that reads, last Thursday, was the deadline for Katie and her team to come to some kind of agreement with my team to either fight me or vacate the WBC title. Cameron posted on her Instagram account, which I thought was reasonable considering I've spent the last 2 years getting back in position to fight for it. Since losing it, now a rematch back in 2023. This is the second extension that's been granted. Hopefully, this is the final extension deadline and the belt is vacated, as I don't think Katie and her team want the fight, which is fair enough, but the 140-pound division should crack on. Katie Taylor asking for this extension and receiving it may be the light at the end of the tunnel for Chantel, because let's be honest, I think Chantel would prefer to have that third Katie Taylor fight than settle on her vacant title. Fighting Katie pays better than just fighting for a belt she used to have.
Not just the title that I used to know.
There is clearly no love lost between the two boxers, each responsible for the lone career defeat on the other's record. Cameron won their initial meeting in May of 2023 on the road at 3 Arena in Dublin. The bout marked Taylor's first ever pro fight in her home country, a night originally reserved for an undisputed lightweight championship rematch with Amanda Serrano. When Amanda dropped out, Katie chose to fight Chantel instead, and the rest, as they say, is history. Chantel won the first one, Katie won the second. Now there is a need for a tiebreaker, and Chantel may yet get it, because if Katie's asking for an extension, question is, why is she asking for an extension? Is she considering one more fight? She doesn't need it. In all honesty, Katie's legacy doesn't need that third fight with Chantel Cameron. That would be more like the cherry on top. If there's a third fight and Katie wins it, it's more like the icing on the cake, because Katie's legacy far extends beyond her professional exploits and even her amateur record. The whole reason that girls were accepted to box in the Olympic Games is because of Katie Taylor. It's because the IOC asked her to come out and have a fight, and based on what they saw, how impressed they were, that's what influenced their decision to let women box in the Olympics. So any girl, every girl who wins a medal, who competes thereafter, owes Katie Taylor a debt of gratitude. Rounding out her legacy to where it all doesn't ride on whether or not she finishes her career fighting Chantel for a third time, having done so much as an amateur, as a professional. I can't imagine what else Katie Taylor might want from her boxing career at this point. She is a competitor, though. These Olympians often are. Maybe she wants to settle up with Chantel as badly as Chantel wants to settle up with her. If she wins, then she closes out the trilogy and her career on a high. And if she loses, she passes the torch to her worthiest adversary. We will see what happens. In men's cruiserweight news, Jai Opetaia versus Hussein Cinkara purse bid cancelled as both sides reach an agreement. Jai Opetaia has cleared a hurdle. Ahead of his next ring appearance, Boxing Scene has confirmed that the IBF has cancelled the purse bid for Opetaia's ordered 200-pound title defense against mandatory challenger Hussein Cinkara. The session was due to take place on Tuesday, already rescheduled from the originally assigned August 26th hearing. Since the story was published, both parties have publicly confirmed that they will meet on a forthcoming date this fall. The bout will take place in Opetaia's native Australia, revisiting plans from when they were due to meet earlier this year. If nothing else, what's come out of all of this is that Jai Opetaia has had more than one opportunity to box in his native Australia, where I think he should be fighting if it's not for a big fight. If it's not for a unification match, he should be fighting at home. The David Naika fight, the Sequeyo fight, and what is to be the Hussein Cinkara fight. The reason for it, the reason I think he should be boxing at home, is that's how Tim Tszyu built up his following. That's how he became a pay-per-view draw in Australia, and that's how Jai Opetaia can do it. I'm already deep in preparation and ready to put on another exciting show, Opetaia said in a statement provided by Tasman Fighters. Sincara is unbeaten and dangerous, but this is my time. I've been calling for unifications, but the other champions don't seem to want it. First, I have to take care of Sincara, and then we keep chasing those belts. One thing's for sure, the titles are staying in Australia. Tuesday's development came as Opetaia, 28-0 with 22 KOs, saw his name tied to a couple of other notable opportunities. It was recently suggested that his team sought a higher profile showdown with former WBO champion Chris Billum-Smith for a targeted date in November in Opetaia's native Australia. Hindsight being 2020, I think it's better that things happen this way, because if they would have got Cinkara to step aside, he still would have become a problem later on. If you fight Chris and you beat Chris, then after that, the IBF is going to want you to fight Cinkara, so you won't be free to unify, whereas if you do it this way, you're free after that. Free to pursue the winner of Badou Jack versus Noel Mikhailian 2 or Zurdo Ramires once he's back. The unbeaten lineal Ring Magazine and IBF champion was also mentioned in a potential heavyweight clash with veteran gatekeeper and former title challenger Derek Chizoria. The matchup was suggested by boxing financier Turki El Sheikh, whose Riyadh season shows have housed 3 of Opetaia's 6 lineal and Ring Magazine defenses. Both will have to take a back burner as Opetaia and co-promoters Tasman and Matchroom opted to first take care of his mandatory. And like I said, it's better that they get this guy out of the way now, so in the coming year, Jai is free to unify. Jai Opetaia has proven himself as an elite world champion and a global star, stated Matchroom chairman Eddie Hearn. Facing an undefeated challenger like Sincara shows the kind of fighter that he is, always ready to take on big threats. This is a fight the world will be watching. Sincara, 23-0 with 19 KOs, a 40-year-old German-born Turkey-based contender, was previously due to face Opetaia in January at the Gold Coast Convention Center in the champ's current Gold Coast hometown. The show went on, but without Sincara, who was forced to withdraw less than 4 weeks from the event due to torn ligaments suffered during training. The 30-year-old southpaw has since added a 5th-round knockout of Italy's Claudio Sequeyo, then 17-0, a listless opponent. The silver lining here is I've had a look at Sincara already, and Sincara seems at least the more formidable fighter than Sequeyo was. What I remember of Hussein, he's light on his feet, he's got a very European style. The torso is very much upright, but he can beat those feet, he can move, decent combinations, that he is at least more formidable than, say, Claudio Sequeyo or David Naika before him, that he can maybe push back a little harder on Jai than those guys could, and that this will be more of a contest, more of a fight. Sincara will attempt his first shot at a world title. He became the IBF mandatory after a second-round knockout of Armand, I can't pronounce that, in their title eliminator last April 24th in Nuremberg, Germany. Prior to the IBF reordering the mandatory, Opetaia openly sought a unification bout with WBA, WBO champion Gilberto Zurdo Ramires. He immediately agreed to terms as presented to him for a targeted clash on El Sheikh's November 22nd Riyadh season show. Those plans, however, were scrapped after Ramires underwent surgery to repair a lingering shoulder injury. Wait a minute. So they agreed to terms and he agreed to the fight, Then he decided to have surgery?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
The silver lining is that the unbeaten cruiserweight champion will lodge a third fight this year. Jai Opetaia is the best boxer in Australia and the #1 cruiserweight in the world, stated Mick Francis, director of Tasman Fighters. His star keeps rising, and bringing this fight to Australia shows just how big he's become. Fans can expect fireworks. So Jai Opetaia said that he will continue to pursue unification matches, but the other champions don't want it, at least according to him. The reality is that Badou Jack, the WBC champion, has been ordered to fight Noel Mikhailian again. He's been ordered to give him a rematch, and Zurdo Ramires is out injured after having had shoulder surgery. Those are the circumstances. Unification matches remain elusive for Jai Opetaia. In my honest opinion, those guys don't want to unify with him as bad as he wants to unify with them, because what was stopping Badou Jack, for example, from reaching a step-aside deal? And why did Zurdo decide to have surgery after he agreed to the fight? A momentary reprieve for those reigning champions, but they're not out of the woods yet, as Jai Opetaia has put a move to heavyweight on hold. He wants to unify. Before this news about Cinkara broke, there was a rumor that Jai might move up to heavyweight in his next fight, but he's dismissed those suggestions. His focus remains becoming undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. The Australian has been recognized as the world's finest cruiserweight since the first of his victories over Ramires in July of 2022, 3 years ago, when he resisted a broken jaw to win the IBF title. But over 3 years on, and after again defeating Briedis in their rematch, he is a little closer to fighting his division's other champions. Gilberto Zurdo Ramires, the Mexican widely considered the world's #2, defeated Chris Billum Smith in 2024 to add the WBO title to that he already held from the WBA. But after victory over Uniel Dorticos in June, he required shoulder surgery that is expected to keep him out of the ring until next year. How convenient. Most recently, his co-promoters Eddie Hearn and Mick Francis had spoken of the possibility of Opetaia moving up to heavyweight. The latter, also his manager, similarly told Fox Sports in Australia that Turki El Al-Sheikh of the General Entertainment Authority wants to match Opetaia with Derek Chisora of the UK. Asked of the possibility of him agreeing, Opetaia, who stopped the Italian Claudio Squayo in June, told Boxing Scene, "Man, I'm chasing undisputed. I've got time under my belt. I'm only 30 years old. I want to become cruiserweight champion, undisputed. And once that's done, I want to move up to heavy or whoever's next. That's who's next. But at the moment, undisputed is what I'm after." I've been told I got a mandatory first, and we're aiming for around November. But until I see signed papers in front of me, it's all talk. But we're aiming for that. And then we're gonna get Ramires early next year. I just don't understand how we've not got a unification fight next or even yet. The WBC Badou Jack, I do not understand why we are not fighting. It makes no sense to me. We want to see champions versus champions. Any unification fight overtakes a mandatory. You know what I mean? Let's make it happen. I don't know what's going on. It's the same thing I thought. Couldn't they have got Noel to step aside for this fight? We've got the Cinkara fight, which is a serious fight. This guy's dangerous. He's a slick little boxer. We'll prepare for war, like we always do, 12 hard rounds. And then once the job's done, we just want unification fights. We've been chasing these unification fights for years now. I don't understand why they're not getting over the line. Yeah, I can run down an itemized list of reasons as to why specifically things haven't happened, but the underlying theme is that the other champions don't really want it that bad with Jai. At least, that's how I feel. It's very frustrating, but it is what it is. My whole career's been frustrating, but we've just got to keep pushing forward, keep training hard. I just believe that I'll be undisputed one day, so I've got to stay focused. Opetaia's frustration extends directly to Ramires, who he considers the world's second-best cruiserweight, and Jack for what he understands to be their reluctance to fight him, and also to Chris Billum Smith, on course to fight Roman Fraz for the WBO interim title. I just got told Jack and Ramires have been asking for stupid numbers that are unrealistic. This is what I've been told, he said. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I haven't personally spoken to Badou Jack. Maybe I should. And if he wants to reach out, he should. Because this fight, we can make it happen. I got told that I could be fighting Ramires early next year, which I'm excited for. That's the fight that I've been chasing for a long time. Whatever unification fight comes first, it comes first. But just let's make it happen. I feel we are the top two for sure. I'm 1 and Ramires is 2. This is what I've heard. Both of them are asking for a lot, but if you're gonna win, the money's gonna come. If you believe in yourself and you think you're gonna win the fight, I believe the money's gonna come. I've been told they've been given a budget for a fight and want to split it 50-50. I said no, bro, fuck the 50-50. If they want more, let's give them more and get it over the line. Because once we get this belt, we can go for another belt. My career's not done. I feel like I'm just there now. I'm at the top, so let's stay here. With Billum Smith, it's frustrating because I tried to fight Billum Smith. I tried to get that unification fight for a long time as well, and he just took a different route. He wanted to go through Ramires because he thought he was going to beat Ramires. He was just wasting time. It's frustrating at the same time. He's a respectable name, and that's what I want to fight too. If I can't get one of these unification fights, then maybe fight with him. Why not? The way I beat people, I never get the respect I deserve. I guarantee when I beat one of these boys, they'll be saying the same thing. He's at the end of his career, just excuse after excuse. Because I beat them convincingly or outboxed them. It's too soon for him. He's not good enough. He's this, he's that. There's always an excuse, but it is what it is. I believe I'd convincingly beat one of those other champions as well. I just need them to take the fight.
And he had a lot more to say, Jai Opetaia. A noticeably frustrated guy because he's been champion for 3 years, but he hasn't had a unification match yet, where Zurdo Ramires already had. Zurdo beat a then unbeaten Arsene Goulamarian for the WBA, then he landed the Chris Billum Smith fight for the WBO.
So there is a feeling that some of these fighters at the weight, some of these champions, current and former, are seeking refuge from Jai Opetaia with each other, and that doesn't change in the coming year. That if Jai beats Hussein Cinkara, and I think he's going to, what stops Zurdo from facing the winner of Badou Jack versus Noel Mikhailian too?
They could always resort to that. If they don't want to fight Jai jointly, they can always fight each other. We've seen that before.
The reason they're not out of the woods is because Jai's not going anywhere. Addressing those previous rumors that he might move up and he might fight Derek Chisora in a high-profile fight at heavyweight.
I'm not fucking leaving!
I mean, if that's what they're doing, if that's what they're trying to do, wait Jai Opetaia out. Force him out of the division. Force him to move up by stalling, by dragging their feet, by choosing to take on other fights.
I'm not fucking leaving!
For Jai Opetaia, moving up to heavyweight and having to acclimate to that brand new division where the guys are a lot bigger, punch a lot harder, that's actually a lot more difficult than waiting out the situation at cruiser. It may be frustrating and annoying, and the IBF is always coming up with mandatories for you to fight, but that is still easier and more manageable than trying to hang, than trying to bang with the big boys at heavyweight. He will not allow himself to be frozen out. He's willing to wait.
So they're not out of the woods yet. Whatever they're doing right now, recovering from surgery or satisfying mandatories, neither Badou Jack or Zurdo Ramires are out of the woods. Jai will be waiting.